All right. Hey, everybody. And we're live. Welcome to our first live stream, live chat, live Q&A that we're doing both on Facebook and YouTube. My name's Jamie Newman. I'm going to be hosting today's session. And actually, we've got two sessions today. We've got another one happening at 8 p.m. And really what we've decided to do, and I'll ask you to bear with us a little bit because we're kind of figuring this thing out. But what we wanted to do is just be available to answer questions, to provide an overview of Academy of Learning, and to really just reach more people like yourself and just let you know about the opportunities that are happening and how to really take advantage of, I'll say, a very unique time when it comes to the Alberta economy. We all know that there's a big push to get us open for summer, and that's exciting. There's also quite a bit of uncertainty about what's happening in the future. And June, we're still in June right now, is actually a really, really good time to be considering training for a new career. One of the biggest reasons for that is to think about not how many jobs are available today, but to think what happens a year from now. Because most of our programs, and I'll walk through this, most of our programs well, all of our programs are less than. So the idea is that you could actually be taking advantage of future career opportunities that are a result of increased investment in our Alberta economy. And now's a really good time to start getting on that path. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm going to run through what our programs are, but the big point is we want to be able to answer questions. So we've already got a question. What is required to have to take the teacher's aid course? And so I'm going to go through a presentation at first. We're going to capture all these questions, and I'll go through a quick presentation. And then we'll kind of open it up for some Q&A. And there's going to be some things I can answer. And there's going to be other things where I'm going to suggest that you're going to want to talk directly to an admissions advisor. But the whole point here is to just give an easy outlet for information to help you consider whether or not it's worth reaching out to us, and whether or not training for a career that you love, that gives you financial stability, that gives you job security, and that gives you fulfillment, whether now's the right time for you. And so with that, I'm going to throw something up on, I'm learning a new live stream tool, so we'll see how this works. I'm going to throw this up here, this banner. You should be able to see, it's a URL. So my role is I work on the marketing team. And so there's a lot I know about Academy of Learning, but I am not a professional admissions advisor. We've got a whole team. We've actually got campuses all across Alberta. We have 3 campuses in Edmonton. We've got 1 in Red Deer. We've got 2 in Calgary. We've got 1 in Medicine Hat. And within each of those campuses are admissions advisors who know the local economy, know the programs, know the career opportunities, and can answer a lot of really specific questions about each individual program. So if there's any questions that I miss, what you want to do at any point in time is just go to that URL at the bottom, academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply. And I'll walk through how to do this after. It's really easy. But by filling out that form, that'll set you up with a phone call with an admissions advisor where they can answer any questions that you have. With all that said, I'm going to hop into a presentation. Now, this is actually a presentation that we've done a little bit before. And so there's some new updated information that's not included in here that we'll probably get to. But this presentation, when we built it, it's the idea of just a reminder to everyone watching, you're not stuck. COVID's really impacted every facet of our economy. And it's very easy to think like I'm stuck in my job, or I'm stuck being unemployed. I can't find the type of career I'm looking for, or I'm not able to save money, or you know what, I'm never going to be able to provide for my kids' future education, or you know what, I'm not going to be able to do this or that. And one of the reasons that we exist is to help people who feel stuck get unstuck. We've got a tagline here, find your moment. And the concept there is that we through Academy of Learning, there's a moment when it clicks. That could be today on this call, when you realize like, hey, I could do this. And for some of our students, it's midway through a program when they're just like, I love what I'm doing. And for others, the moment happens when they graduate and they land that first job. And it's like, wow, everything's changed. A year ago, I felt stuck. And today, as a graduate, walking into my first day at a career I love that pays 60% more than my minimum wage job. This moment is really special. And so that's the idea of find your moment and you're not stuck. What I'll be covering is, and hopefully I don't go too far on my list. So what is Academy of Learning? What is our integrated learning system? Who are our people? And primarily where I'll spend time is giving an overview of programs and career opportunities. And then it'll be all live question and answers. So if you do have any questions at any point in time, though, you can put them now into the chat box. And whether that's on Facebook or on YouTube, just put comments in. And I'll circle back and make sure that I hit as many as I can before we run out of time. And we'll go through them. So if you think of a question, just ask it in real time. If I see it on my feed, I'll answer it in real time, and we'll have some fun. All right, so let's jump in. Right now is a really good time. I've already said this, but it's a really, really good time to be exploring career opportunities. There's a big investment happening, and I don't have any of the data right in front, but if you search, I believe it's Building Skills for Jobs, Alberta 2030. If you just Google that, there's a government initiative looking at what is our economy in Alberta going to look like 10 years from, the year 2020. And this got launched, I believe, in August last year. Right at actually when the mask mandate put in place, I believe, in Calgary and Edmonton for sure, but maybe even all across Alberta. And just seeing what was being impacted by COVID, the government was responding and saying, hey, we need to start planning for this future. And so there's a lot of initiatives being put into looking ahead at what are jobs going to look like. That includes healthcare. We'll talk about that. That includes supporting local community through community services and a big focus on IT. And that's kind of setting up why now is a really good time to start training, because we know what the jobs next year are going to look like. We know what jobs are, for lack of a better term, COVID proof. And we've got data that suggests how much money you can make compared to minimum wage. What are your odds of graduating from one of our programs? I'll get into that. And what are your odds of actually finding a job? Because that's ultimately what we're looking at, is how do you, again, find job security, find financial stability, and do something that's fulfilling. Those are the three things that we want to hit. And this is really like your fresh start. That's what we're wanting to walk through. So that's the point of the presentation. That's what Academy of Learning Career College is all about. And we've got different categories. Let me run through them real quick so you can see them on the screen. We've got programs in accounting, in business, in community service and support, in healthcare, in hospitality, in technology, in insurance, office administration, legal, graphic and web design. We've actually got a brand new program that I'll talk about as well that just launched, I believe maybe in last week, or it's launching right now. So that's really exciting as well. Hey, Nick, you're here. I'm here too. Nice to see you. Or I guess read you. I don't know what the right term is there. So here's I guess 6 things that I just want you to think about as we go through this presentation. And these are things that are essentially, I'll say, value drivers or benefits or things that set Academy of Learning apart. So primarily, we've designed an educational experience that puts you in the driver's seat. That's why you see learn at your own pace. Everybody learns different. And I'll talk more about this when we talk about ILS, but not everybody learns the same way. And so there are times where if you're in a traditional classroom experience, you may feel like, hey, I need more time on this. And there's other times where you may be like, hey, I get it. Can we move on? And so our programs are built to allow our students to learn at their own pace, so that when things are really interesting and you want to dive deeper, you can do that. When things are really challenging and you want to take more time, you can do that. And when you just get it, you can move forward and burn through the stuff that's coming really easily. The next component I want you to be thinking about is job placement. If you're considering a career college, you have to ask this question. You have to ask, how do I know that I'm actually going to find a job when I graduate? And as a private career college, we're actually responsible to report our job placement rates and our graduation rates. And I don't have it off the top of my head, so I might be off by 1%. But I believe our graduation rate across Alberta, across all programs, is 83%. And that's all of our students as an average. 83% are graduating, which is extremely high. I think the minimum requirement for us is like around 70%, and we're way above that. And our job placement rate is 87%. That's huge, especially like that's looking at last year's numbers, and that's considering COVID. People, when they graduate our programs, get jobs. And the reason for that is we provide job placement assistance. And so that's really important when you engage with us and you're looking at a specific program or a specific location. Ask the admissions advisor, hey, for this program, will I find a job? What do the job opportunities actually look like? That's a big factor, and you should be doing that if you're looking at any other college as well. A private career college is going to have those numbers. And it's really, really helpful when you're considering where's the best place to go is, will I actually find a job? We also offer short, effective courses. You can see that up on the screen. All of our programs can be completed in less than 12 months. Some are even quicker, depending on if you're doing a certificate course to upgrade your skills to get a certain type of role or different programs. But the idea here is 12 months from now, you could be in that career. So typical college, you're looking at 2 years probably. Some programs might be 18 months, but we've got condensed programs, which allows you to get all of your schooling done in less than a year. That's a huge thing when it comes to managing your return on investment. Because one of the things we're always looking at is, well, how much does this cost? And I know that's going to be a question that comes up, and I'll answer it now, and I'll also answer it if it comes up. How much that school costs depends on the program, right? So the different programs, so the actual fees, I'll say, can vary depending on what program you're going into. But the other thing is there's tons of different funding opportunities. There's grants. We have a scholarship opportunity right now where we're giving away 7 $2,500 scholarships, one for each of our campuses across Alberta, for students who start their program before the end of this month. And that might seem crazy. It's I don't know what the date is, June 16th, I think. You could actually start your program on Monday. That's realistic. And then be entered to win $2,500 off. Well, that impacts the cost. Depending on what grants and what funding you apply for, that impacts the cost. But the real thing that you want to be considering is the return on the investment. If you are going to go to a 2-year college program, the cost is higher than a 1-year college program, even if the price is the same, because you're going to be in a job faster through a shorter program. That's where I'm going with this. On average, our graduates earn 60% more than minimum wage. For some roles, it's slightly higher, for some a little bit slightly less, but you are making more money by going to college. That's where the financial stability piece comes in. And so the sooner that you're able to enter the workforce, the sooner you're able to pay off whatever investment you made in your education. And then the return on the investment is add up the years of the increased pay wage. Price doesn't really matter. If you're able to actually achieve your financial goals. That's the point of this. I'm spending probably too much time on this. Flexible schedules, another huge thing that is something we pride ourselves on. Again, you could start on Monday a program. We have start dates happening all the time. We have classes that happen like our ILS programs, which I'll talk about again in a few minutes. It's all learn at your own pace, right? So you can if you've got a busy schedule, you can do all of your coursework at 9 o'clock at night if you want, or you can structure your day however you want. Especially with our online learning right now, we hope to get back in classes full time, but everything that we're doing is online, which means you don't have to worry about providing childcare. You can just work around your schedule at home in a home office, and you can get all of your schooling done. And for the instructor-led courses, you're hopping on virtual classrooms. So the flexibility to do school, how is going to work best for you and your own personal responsibilities. A lot of our students have part-time or full-time jobs, and sometimes they vary. And so the ability to build an educational schedule around your schedule is huge. And that's one of the benefits of our programs. We do offer both diploma and certificate programs. I'll walk through those. And then it's hands-on training, which, again, I'll talk about. There's too much. I want to get into some questions. Laura's asking how many placements are out there for teacher's aides in Red Deer or Sylvan Lake. So we do have a campus in Red Deer. We don't have one in Sylvan Lake, but obviously it does impact these surrounding areas. Again, I'm not an expert on Red Deer. So the best thing to do would be go to that academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply. You'll be able to select your campus when you fill out that form, and that's going to connect you with an admissions advisor from Red Deer. And you can actually book a time in their calendar and for a phone call, and then they'll be able to tell you all about Red Deer at a time that works for you. Where I'd just be guessing, or I'd have to go run the reports right now. So very specific courses there would be good. So, and yeah, Renee, I completely agree. Just finished. Renee said, I just finished my courses at the end of May. Congrats. And it's much easier for people that don't drive. Yeah, flexible schedules and the ability to do things on your own time is huge. Okay, let me keep going. I do want to get. I'm gonna skip this video. I do want to get into talking about the programs that we offer. I'm sure that's gonna be really interesting to some of you who are unfamiliar with Academy of Learning. One of the things that sets us apart is our online training, or our cloud-based training, our e-training, e-learning platform. It's called the Integrated Learning System, and this is not a response to COVID, which is why I'm like really proud of it. We had already been doing cloud-based training prior to COVID happening. That's a huge plus when you're evaluating a college, because when everything went online, we didn't have to figure out, okay, how do we actually do this? We already had a proven system where people could learn at their own pace. Most of our students come into computer lab to do it alongside our facilitators in person. But all we did when things had to go online is we just made that available on people's home computers, which it was already cloud-based. It was really easy to access. And our facilitators became virtual facilitators. So let me walk through the benefits of this integrated learning system. So you're going to be able to study the way that you learn best, because you get to engage with content as your interests lie. You get to, I already said this, but you can spend more time in the areas that are of interest to you, and less time on maybe the boring stuff, or the stuff that you just like get right away and you want to move on. So you study the way you learn best. You can build your skills one step at a time. So the way this is designed is kind of like you could call it a building block approach. Similar to game theory. So if you've ever played a video game, level 1 is so easy. And you're like, oh, I got this. And then you go to level 2, a little bit harder. Level 3, a little bit harder. Level 4, a little bit harder. And then you go back and you're like, you're mastering skills by having things brought in one thing at a time. You're not sitting through a lecture and then told go do it. You're actually engaging and learning different skills within your programs, one building block at a time. So that's huge in terms of being able to learn things faster. It's one of the reasons we can condense our programs, is our students learn faster. You can boost your self-confidence. Again, some of this is game theory, but you're going to learn. Like, you're actually going to learn, and it feels really good when you get it. There's nothing more frustrating than going to a class or going through a program, and you're sitting there and being like, I just don't get it. I think back to high school, and I think it was calculus class, it was geometry. I had no idea what was happening. Now, I'd missed a few classes. That's a different story. But there's nothing more frustrating than watching somebody go through something. You're like, I just don't know. Your self-confidence gets hit. And with ILS, because you go through it at your own pace, you learn it. And that gives a lot of self-confidence. Obviously, it gets you job ready. That just is a testament to how our training is built. Personalized one-on-one support. This is huge. We have facilitators. All of our facilitators are Academy of Learning graduates, and they are there to virtually support you, whether that's email, phone call, hopping on a virtual meeting. They're actually going to help you accomplish your course, and they actually do these courses. So again, all of them are graduates, but it's a goal that our facilitators go through all of the course content, and I believe they have to get 80% or better. Maybe it's 90%. I don't 100% remember. But you've got people helping you who have done it. That's the point. You're not just left alone to, all right, here's an online course, take it, good luck. You've got somebody, a coach in your corner helping you when you get stuck. That's huge. You can take charge of your learning. Again, you learn at your own pace. It'll allow you to build time management skills just because you're working into your own schedule. You can see how fast you move through things. There's some secondary benefits there. You can learn like a pro. So the reason that's there is the way that the courses are designed in ILS forces you to engage with content. That actually teaches you how to learn, and that's something that is really important. I always look back at when I went to college, and the biggest value was not necessarily the skills that I learned, but the ability to learn how to learn. And that's built into this. And I'll give a real quick example. I went to school for advertising and public relations, and one of our big projects was on Netflix. Well, at the time, Netflix was like you mail DVDs. It wasn't live stream. So it was more of a direct mail project. And for me, I didn't walk away with any skills about live streaming or email marketing or internet marketing or user experience. But through the courses, I learned how to learn. And that's real important because things change. Whatever you're going to learn 10 years down the road might be different. But if you can learn how to learn how to adapt, learn the fundamentals, that's what you want to be looking for in a program. A program is not just going to teach you something that's going to be obsolete, but it's going to teach you how to continue your education when you get into your job. And finally, you're going to build technical skills. You're actually learning stuff that employers need. Again, this goes back to, will people get a job when they graduate from these courses? Yes, they do. This isn't something we reacted to COVID where we're not sure if it works. This is something we've been doing for sure over 5 years. The integrated learning system has obviously developed over time. I mean, Academy of Learning has been around since 86, 87. Could be wrong on that. We've always had this method of learning, but we've been doing this online stuff for years. And our graduation rates attest to the fact that people go through these courses and they actually build the skills that employers require so they get hired. That's what matters. Again, job security, financial stability, fulfillment. Being able to get a job is super, super important when you're evaluating a college education. Something also just add in, don't take our word for it. We actually, these are the banners for our 2020 award winnings. And we won for Northern Alberta. We've won 18 years in a row as of 2020 for the Consumer Choice Award, and 7 years in a row for Southern Alberta. And actually, I believe that's wrong. I think it's 17 there. But we won again for both Northern and Southern Alberta in 2021. So I just need to update those graphics. But the point is, Consumer Choice consistently rates the quality of our education in our category as stellar. And so you don't have to take our word for it. We're award winning and have been on a consistent basis. The other thing I want to walk through is just how our I guess our programs or how our campuses are set up. Obviously, we're virtual right now. And so the way that our staff breaks down, we've got admissions advisors. Those are the people, if you're just checking out Academy of Learning, that's who you want to talk to. They are experts at giving you everything you need to know to make a good decision. That includes explaining the programs, what it looks like, explaining what it's like to be a student, explaining what type of job opportunities, explaining our grad rates, explaining your local economy opportunities. And like if you're in Medicine Hat, you want to talk to someone who knows Medicine Hat. If you're in Calgary, you want to talk to someone who knows Calgary. They'll be able to tell you what types of employers. They'll be able to give you data. But something that's really, really good is they'll be able to help you evaluate and explore and apply for financial aid, different government grants. And there's new stuff happening all the time. So if anyone's ever like, I can't afford college, that's who you want to talk to. You want to talk to an admissions advisor because they'll help you figure out, well, can you? Like, are you qualified for one of these maybe government grants? Are you qualified for a scholarship? Are you able to get certain financial aid? What does that look like in terms of building a budget to see, is it manageable? And they'll help you calculate that return on investment. Is it worth it? And I mean, that again, I'll bring that up. If you knew that a year from now, you'd be making 50% more than you're making right now, and it would take you a year to pay off that debt, maybe from school and pay off your loans, or maybe 2 years. But you knew you're going to make 50% more immediately a year from today. And I mean, obviously, career advancement. What is the long-term return on the investment? And admissions advisors will help you look at that and look at the different fields of the economy, what's going on, what types of jobs are out there, what's the opportunities for advancement within those fields, et cetera. We also have our campus staff. They work super hard. That includes our reception. That includes the people who clean our buildings. There are obviously some things that we have to do in person. For instance, our healthcare programs, if you're going to learn first aid, you can't really learn CPR through a computer. But we've got campus staff that make sure our campuses are clean and safe, well maintained. We've got different management that is making sure the business operates really, really well behind the scenes. So that's our campus staff. We've got student support personnel. These are like your coaches. We have people. This is so important to us. Everything that we do is built around ensuring that our students find success. And so we actually, I'll say this, and maybe it's not the most eloquent way, but we pay people to help our students graduate, to help our students actually get through their programs. That's their job, the coaches. And that's a really important thing when you're evaluating a college is who's going to help me when things get tough. Who's going to help me when I'm challenged? Who's going to help me? And we have student support personnel that's what they do. They're there anytime you need them for any questions. And it's one of the things that comes up so consistently when we talk to our graduates is that the people who help them cross the finish line. That's why our graduation and job placement rates are high, is because of the support you get when you go to our college. We also have our facilitators. I talked about that. Those are the people that support you specifically with your technology and your coursework within our ILS programs. And of course, we have our instructors. And all of our instructors have to have real world experience. It's not a professor that just graduated and never worked a day in their life and is teaching entry extent. They have to have the credentials required to actually teach. We've got some fantastic instructors for our instructor-led programs. So that's our people. I'm going to skip over a couple things and just hop into programs. So let me just run through those, and then we'll just open it up for any questions that anybody has, and we'll go from there. So we've got accounting programs, accounting and bookkeeping, payroll accounting, and payroll administration. So that's within your financial field. There's a ton of opportunities there. Every single business needs people to run payroll and do bookkeeping and manage the books. I was talking to a friend of mine, and he works in an accounting firm. Guess what? COVID happened. That doesn't change anything. People still need to do their taxes. People still need to do run financial reports. This is one of those, like, you could call it a COVID-proof industry. And with so many businesses, no matter what happens in the economy, really, businesses doing well and even businesses doing poorly, they still need to manage their books. And so we've got even more different businesses that are launching every day, and the career opportunities within payroll and accounting, especially as workforces fluctuate up and down, real in-demand skills. General business. So there's lots of different programs here, which is, again, why you want to be talking to an admissions advisor, because the opportunities you have within insurance versus general business management versus being an entrepreneur, being in marketing, they all fall into the business category, but it's really good to talk to an admissions advisor about what your goals and interests are. Community service. This is a big one. And this has the teaching assistant or the educational assistant. So I just want to, I'm going to use some logic. But again, if you look into any of what the government is doing, the reopening plan, if you actually watch the places that our federal and our provincial government is spending money, community service is massive. But the logical component is just think about what's happened due to the pandemic. We've got so many different challenges, from financial issues, family issues, drug issues. These are sensitive topics, but our communities need people who are professional and able to support the people who are struggling at a time like this. So it's a huge need. We want to support our local communities and the people in the communities that we live in. There's a nice opportunity there, but there's also an investment of money that is going into our economy to make sure that we're supporting the mental health of people. And so community service and addiction worker, like those types of programs, they're just so needed, but they're in demand. And so if you're looking for that job stability, there's long-term opportunities that are just really, really important to our communities. Likewise, educational assistants may sound a little funny, because of all the difficulties with schooling. But one of the things to consider is and I'll say partly due to restrictions, but as schools are going back, as regulations change, the demand for more workers within the education system is going up. We saw that in Alberta when the schools were shut down. It was a staffing issue ultimately. When the schools were shut down most recently, they just need more people, and there's such a growing demand, especially when September hits. And so, if you're thinking, "Hey, is there going to be a job for me?" Yeah, it's going to be building. The demand is going to be growing through September and next year. So now's a great time to start training to be an educational assistant, so that when the demand is at its highest, that's when you're graduating. And it's a really good time to be graduating as schools are planning their staffing needs for next year. And then we've got creative design, so web design, graphic design. I can talk forever about this because this is one of the areas that I do in marketing. But every business needs a website. That's the easiest way to look at it. Social media marketing, it's actually crazy. As someone with a marketing background, we do have that marketing program I mentioned earlier. I can tell you, like, people are spending way more money on digital marketing, way more money than they were a year ago. And social media continues to grow. And so the ability to know, how do I design those websites? How do I give great experiences to people who visit my company virtually, whatever company I'm working for? How do I use graphics to help with messaging? Every business needs great people who know web design and graphic design. Whether you're looking to be an entrepreneur and you want to bridge the opportunities that web design and graphic design brings to helping your business grow, or whether you just want to work for any company and do some creative work, we got programs for that. Healthcare, here's another massive one. Healthcare is, and again, like, think about it. We're in the middle still, or I don't know if middle is the right term, but maybe we're coming out of it. But there's been a global pandemic. It's hit Alberta hard. But where has there been a massive investment? Well, into our healthcare system. And that's not just, I mean, you can see dental and you can see veterinary specialty, but health is really important to our government, to our communities. And they're not cutting jobs right now. If anything, staffing is of utmost importance, and things are kind of changing, especially when you look at all the virtual technologies being implemented. The administrative back end, and when you consider the vaccine rollouts, the documentations, the different, anyway, there's a ton of demand and a ton of jobs that are going to be coming, and they're going to be here for a long time within the administrative medical office world, and healthcare aides actually being on the boots on the ground, so to speak, supporting different people within healthcare. So again, job stability. Yep, financial security. Yep, having a long-term job. Healthcare is a in-demand field. Hospitality. I'm not going to say this is the most exciting program to go into right now. Depends what you want to do. There's a lot of things that are going to be changing in restaurants, especially, and so people who know how to serve customers well. There's going to be jobs for you, because customer service is the name of the game within hospitality. Hotels, things are changing, and that's going to create a lot of jobs. It's not so much that tourism is off the charts, but when you think about it, as restaurants reopen and expand, as the economy reopens and restrictions get lifted, there's going to be demand to hire people who know what they're doing. And so there is actual jobs there. The other thing is, just because travel hasn't been the same as what it was, doesn't mean that tourism locally is slow. Just people aren't leaving. And they're not leaving the province. I mean, look at camping. Getting a campground right now, it's insane. I'm pretty sure everything's booked. And so a campground is a hospitality management thing. Hotels are hospitality management. Doesn't matter if someone's coming in from Europe or if they're coming in from Calgary to your hotel. So there is demand. It's just a weird one. I don't know if there's a better way to put it. It's a interesting industry to watch. And if you've got a heart and a passion for customer service, there's demand for people that just know how to treat people well, because it's going to be impactful to the businesses that are trying to survive, businesses that are taking over, like relaunching or new restaurants, new hotels. Customer service is everything. That's what you would learn. both the management side and the hospitality side. Legal, administrative assistant to, if you want to be in the legal field. Another industry that has not slowed down and will not slow down is, guess what? When you buy a house, you need a lawyer. When someone unfortunately passes, oftentimes you need a will. Well, you don't oftentimes, you need a will, or forget the other term for that if they don't have a will. But those things are constants. It doesn't matter if COVID happens. The need for lawyers and legal teams is ever present. It's not going anywhere. There's a lot of job stability within the legal field. In a variety of different categories. Immigration is coming soon. We don't have a new program for that yet, but if that is something that is of interest to you, again, just go to the academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply and ask that question to one of our admissions advisors, and they'll be happy to help you out. I did see a question from Kawaljit Kaur. What is the scope of a personal support worker program or the community services program? I do have someone manning the chat. Maybe either Jason or Melissa, you can throw in a link to the community services programs on our website to do a read through. And you'll be able to get a quick snapshot of what's specifically included in the different community services programs. And the other thing, obviously, go to academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply, and you can actually talk to an admissions advisor specifically about some of the types of jobs that our graduates have gotten within your local city. So hopefully that helps. And then we've got tech. So this is where we've got a new program. So a network administrator and PC support are great programs. You can learn more on our website about those. Blockchain development. If you don't know what that is, it's fascinating. If you like computers and IT and you're like one of those people that's like, what's Bitcoin, and like really interested in that, check out our blockchain development courses. Really, really cool stuff. But we're literally like right now launching a software and web developer program. And you're going to want to check that out. If you have any interest in computers, this is one of those in-demand, anticipated, guaranteed, financially invested industries. IT is, I don't want to say like the future. That sounds like a little over the top. But that's the reality is there is a need for people who know web and software development. Those are some of the highest paying jobs that our graduates get are within the IT field. And it's a super exciting field. And so if you have an interest in computers, I think we've got the program page up already where you can check that out, software and web developer. But it's really cool. It's like the back end of everything you see. That's the best way to put it. So software programs, building websites, learning how to do the coding. It's really, really cool. And there's both front end and back end. Back end is how the website works. Front end is what the people see. And if you've got an interest in that stuff, it's not just website design, but it's how all the stuff works. It's really fascinating, and tons of job security and job stability, financial stability there. So, and then we've got some individual courses. Home inspection, computer fundamentals, MS Office, English, graphics, web design. So if you're just looking for a course to get you ahead because you're wanting to separate yourself from competition as you're applying for jobs, sometimes you don't need a full program. Sometimes just being able to take a course in web design is going to help you support your business or help you grow and advance within your current employer. If you're wanting to get into homes inspection, that's not a 12-month like full program, but if you want to do that and launch a business, you want to check out that. So those are the programs. You can find all of that on our website. But again, what I want to encourage you to do is go to, again, academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply or .ca/apply. Yeah. And actually, let me go to that. I'll just show you how that page is set up. It's really easy. So if you have interest in anything and you want to figure out, hey, is college right for me? Just fill this out. So you're just going to put your first name, your last name, your phone number. I'm going to do a little test here so you can see what happens. It's really easy. So test my first name and last name, 111111. Don't call me. This doesn't work. And I'll do a fake email address. But what you do is you fill this out and then you select the campus that's closest to you. So if you're living in downtown Edmonton, you would select Edmonton downtown. That's going to put you in touch with an admissions advisor closest to you. And they're going to have the most relevant information about local employers, practicum opportunities, different ways we support our students, specific graduation and job placement rates for the programs and the campus you're interested in. So you want to select that. And so I'll go Edmonton downtown. Select the area of interest. And so just pick one of these categories. And if you don't know, just put undecided. But this allows our admissions advisors to grab the information about the specific category of course or program you're looking for. So if you have an interest in healthcare, you just select healthcare, and it's going to tell the admissions advisor that when they connect with you, give you information about healthcare, which is what you're looking for. And then you can put in any questions you have. I have no questions, but maybe it's something like, what are the graduation and job placement rates for your healthcare programs? You could ask that question. Then again, the admissions advisor can be prepared to talk to you with that. And then you just select this so that we can actually connect with you and send you the information you're looking for. And you're going to click apply now. And it's going to take a minute. What it's doing in the back end is it's going to be assigning you or connecting you with a specific admissions advisor who is local to you, local to your campus, to find the right person to connect with you. And it's going to actually load up their calendar. There we go. And so now what I can do here is I know that it's connecting me with Jason Stacy, and it's going to give me an appointment, and I can pick this week because I want to take advantage of, if I start a program before July, I'm entered to win $2,500. So you want to make sure that you schedule as fast as possible, because you could actually be starting a new program next week. That is realistic and super possible. So I'll put June 13th, and you can actually pick a time that's going to work for you. The gray is unavailable, so Jason's pretty busy, but looks like I could schedule a phone call for 2 p.m. on today. Oh, right, because, 2 p.m. today, and I can click submit. I'm not going to do that right now. And now Jason will just confirm that, and we've got a phone call. He'll give me a call at that time, and we'll be able to answer all of your questions. So it's a real fast way to evaluate Academy of Learning, to get the information you need to determine if Academy of Learning is going to be right for you. So with all that said, I talk too much, so we're already 42 minutes. But of those of you who are watching right now, are there any questions that you have? While I bring that up, actually, or while you're thinking of some questions, I know I answered some in real time. We also have we've expanded our referral program. And so I'll just bring that up on this tab. So 30% of the students that we have are referrals. The reason that is important to note is our graduates have great experiences with us, to a point that they refer their friends. And we're proud that most of that 30% of our students are recommended to us. But traditionally, our referral reward program was only available to current students and alumni. We just expanded that, which means that you, even as an applicant, or even as someone who maybe you're not even interested or you're not sure, if you've got a friend or a family member who might be interested, you can refer them to Academy of Learning, and if they start a program, you'll get $250. And so it's really easy. I will show you how to do it. If you just go to our website, and under admissions, you'll see student referral program. You can also see the URL, academyoflearning.ab.ca. That might be a little small, /admissions/student referral. But again, if you just go to wherever you're on our website, go to our menu under admissions and student referral program, you'll see it. And there's a button here that says refer a friend today. And I will click on that, and it's going to open up a form where you can put in their name and phone number. We'll connect with them. We'll see if they're interested in hearing about Academy of Learning. And if they enroll and start a program, we'll know who you are, and we'll get you $250, which is a wonderful just way to say thank you for thinking of us and recommending a friend. And that's available to you. Here's a question from Kowaljeet. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that. Hi, I just want to know that there is a future prospect for international students. So yes, we do help international students. And what I will say with that is, also, it depends what you mean by that. And so an admissions advisor is going to be someone that you'll want to talk to. So there's a difference if you are going to be studying abroad, to find out what are the like, let's say you're not in Canada and you want to know what are the job opportunities in your local area. Depends on where you live, how much information we'd be able to provide on that. If depending on where you live, it changes different government grants, changes the process for your enrollment and application admissions. If you um, if you are local and have like a student permit. So anyway, each international student will have a different set of context that impacts things. So I say to any international student, just talk to an admissions advisor about your specific situation. Hopefully that answers your question. I know it doesn't really, but yes, we help so many people from, like, I'll say all over the world. There's a lot of diversity. When we look through our graduates, there's people from so many different countries. It's one of the things that we're really proud of is the diversity of people. You just look around our campuses and they reflect our local communities. And there's lots of people who they're newcomers to Canada looking to build a career. And we help lots of students supplement their education from their home country or start new careers based on our training quickly. But yeah, it depends. So go to academylearning.ab.ca/apply, and you can just get connected with an admissions advisor and talk about your specific situation. Are there any other questions to close off this live stream? If not, what I will say is this is one of a bunch. We're doing this again tonight. So if you've got a friend who, you'd like to get rewarded for referring, if you've got someone who may be interested in hearing about Academy of Learning, or if you think of other questions, tonight at 8 p.m. Local Alberta time, Mountain Daylight Time, Mountain Standard Time, I forget which it is. But 8 p.m. tonight, we'll be doing another one of these. And if you have any questions, just bring them. I'll be able to answer them as best I can live. We'll go through this presentation again. And we'll be doing that again tonight at 8 o'clock. So if you have any friends, it's really easy to find out our schedule. Just go to academyoflearning.ab.ca/live. Again, that's academyoflearning.ab.ca/live. And you'll be able to see the schedule coming up and what we're covering. So right down here. So we've got one tonight at 8 o'clock. We have another one tomorrow at 11. Another one tomorrow, 8 p.m., one at 11 Friday, one at 8 p.m. Friday as well. So, and that's again on YouTube and Facebook. Other than that, we thank you so much for joining. Thank you for your questions, everybody. And again, refer your friends, send them to one of these live streams. If you want to get notified that we're going live for anything that we do, just make sure that you've subscribed on YouTube and hit the bell. There's a bell icon. After you click subscribe, there's a bell icon, and it'll basically, whenever we go live, you'll get a notification so you can hop on and ask your questions. On Facebook, you want to make sure that you're following us. So liking our page is one thing, but you also want to follow us. And I'm not sure, I'm not seeing Facebook right now in my screen, so I can't really explain it, but there's an option to get notified anytime we go live. You want to make sure that you select that. That way you'll get an alert on your phone. And the reason that you want to do as much as possible is because there's a lot going on Facebook. And if you actually want to follow us and see our updates, you want to do everything you can to tell Facebook, show me. So like, follow, and try and set up alerts for when we go live. And we'll go from there. All right. Well, thank you again. And I hope you have a wonderful day. We'll see you again if you want to come back and ask more questions at 8 p.m. But if you don't want to wait, don't wait. academyoflearning.ab.ca/apply. And you can talk to an admissions advisor on the phone at a day and time that works for you. Have a good one.